Who doesn't love rose fragrances? I certainly do. I love rose perfumes. They are my favorite. I would say every time I fall head over heels in love with a fragrance, I notice that there's always a dominant rose note in it. I absolutely love rose perfumes. The note of rose is the most romantic perfume note ever. It just makes fragrances smell amazing. For me, nothing makes me feel beautiful, feminine, and absolutely confident like a rose fragrance. This is why I have a ton of rose fragrances in my collection. I do, but I have added so many new, groundbreaking, amazing, unique rose fragrances since then. So I wanted to share all of them, my beautiful rose fragrances, with you. So if you want to see my beautiful rose perfume collection, just keep watching. Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. In this video I'm going to share with you my favorite, most beautiful rose fragrances from my collection that I absolutely love, die hard, absolutely love. So you guys, in this video I'm going to also announce the giveaway winner. Yes, at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned until the end of the video to find out who won the giveaway. I have a ton of new rose fragrances in my collection, but you guys, I have to start the video with my favorite rose fragrance of all time. It's right here. This is Kilian Rose Oud. You guys, this is the most beautiful, absolutely amazing, sexy, alluring, what are some other adjectives? Honestly, like everything you can think of. It makes me feel absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Do you have like fragrances in your collection that makes you feel absolutely stunning? This is one of them. And when I wear this fragrance, I don't walk, I strut. Okay, that's how I feel in my high heels, wearing a red dress. I just strut. No, I don't always wear a red dress with this, but you know what I mean. I feel like I have, you know, spring in my step when I wear this. This is beautiful. This has obviously rose, and yes, there is oud, but this is not your average oud. It's not your barnyard oud. It's not your strong oud. It's not your oriental, too mid. It's not your Middle Eastern oud. It's like, which is beautiful too, by the way, but it's none of those. It is rather a beautiful, like beautifully done, very well blended oud that you can't even really recognize that it is oud, except for the fact that there's some strength in this fragrance. You can't quite tell where it's coming from, but then you look at the notes, you realize it's probably the oud, but you can't really. It doesn't smell oudy. This has the most gorgeous opening with a lychee note. Oh, beautiful. And that lychee, the fruitiness from the lychee, you know, that very distinct smell of lychee mixed with the beautiful rose, mixed with the sexy, luxurious leather, mixed with the very sultry, sexy Davana note, which is a very sultry herbal note, mixed with, did I say leather? And that oud at the very bottom, the very end, that very almost unrecognizable but sultry oud. It's like everything in this fragrance is sultry, you know. I don't know if I would usually call oud sultry, but in this, even the oud is sultry. Okay, this is, oh my goodness, it is the most, I get so many compliments, it's not even funny. Every time I wear this fragrance, people ask me what I'm wearing every single time, and you see how much I love this. It's halfway down the bottle. I already ordered a refill from, I think, Suffrages. Already got a refill. Now I have to talk about my next favorite rose fragrance of all time, It's Hibiscus Majad by Maison Crivelli. You guys, this one is a super unique, super unique rose fragrance. It's actually, the name says it's hibiscus. It's actually rose in here, mixed with the spearmint, mixed with the sexy, luxurious leather, and the bucket of vanilla that is creating this almost like hibiscus nectar like smell. Okay, there is a faint scent to hibiscus. I mean, I grew up with hibiscus. You can't really smell hibiscus like the way you smell jasmines. You know, you can't smell them walking by. But this is kind of like a fantasy note that's created with other notes, you know. There is a scent, a faint scent in hibiscus in the nectar. So that's exactly what this smells like. And only like million times sexy and million times like amazing and unique. This, you guys, has leather in it. Like I said, leather, a good well blended leather makes everything so sexy and luxurious. There's a bucket of vanilla that makes it super beautifully sweet, but not like too takingly sweet. Another huge compliment getter when I wear it. Every time people ask me what I'm wearing, absolutely love it. And here is a new rose fragrance that I want to share with you guys, because it's just, it blew me away because it's very unexpected. It's very, again, unique. I don't know what other word to use it. It's not your average rose fragrance at all. It is by Joyeux Unique Sensorial, or JUS Parfum, and this is Rosamonda. You guys, this is a this is so good. This is a beautiful this is a beautiful, beautiful rose fragrances. There are like 3 or 4 different rose notes in here, like rose centifolia, rose absolute, and all these notes. They're very expensive, like rose centifolia, for example, very expensive rose notes. And there's something slightly greenish in here that I can't quite put my finger on, you guys, because it's just, it's hard to tell. Like I don't want to say this because I don't want you guys getting that idea in your head. It's not how it smells, but I'm desperate to tell you something that makes you maybe like put your finger on it. So it smells like a faint hint of like lemongrassy kind of thing mixed with beautiful rose that's creating this almost like herbally sultry rose scent to this. It's just, oh, I don't know how to explain it. It just is so absolutely stunning. By the way, guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to forget to tell you guys this one, Hibiscus Majad. I have a special offer for you in the description box. Check it out. I will list every fragrance in this video down in the description box, and if I have any special offers or discounts, I will be mentioning them down in the description box. Speaking of which, I have one discount code for this. It's difficult to find at a discount. Same with that one. You know, you can't get an offer like that. This one, yeah, check the description box. I have a coupon code for you. So here's a rose fragrance that's new in my collection that I have been absolutely loving. This is Harrods Rose. This actually resembles Rosamonda by Joyeux Unique Sensorial Fragrances, but this one is a lot more unique, I should say, the Rosamonda. But this one is also really beautiful. This one actually, oh, you guys, this one smells weird. It's just like, at first when you smell it, it smells like almost like yellow white floral fragrance. You know, I almost feel like I smell ylang ylang in it, but it's not. It has, you know, and ylang ylang and tuberose. Yes, there's tuberose, but there's no ylang ylang. So in the opening, you think almost like it's a white floral fragrance, but then you smell that beautiful rose, big dose of rose, okay? And then you get a little bit of like some kind of green hint in the similar kind of way that Rosamonda has, like a very unique green note in here. It's absolutely beautiful. I think this has tuberose and then of course rose, narcissus, maybe narcissus, I don't know. And it has amberette, you guys. It's just a beautiful fragrance. It makes me feel like I'm in this flower field, you know, pretty girl. It's a pretty girl fragrance wearing a flower crown. So here is the next one. That's really like your classy, sophisticated Chanel DNA rose fragrance. Okay, this is Chanel Paris. You guys, this one is absolutely, oh, this is not sultry like these ones, right? Like these three that I just talked about. This one is not the same like these. Like those are very sexy, sultry. This one is not sexy, sultry. This is rather buttoned up, like sophisticated. You're wearing your Chanel bag, you're wearing your, you know, design outfit, and you're wearing, you know, like really sophisticated jewelry, like that kind of outfit. This is absolutely Chanel, okay? This is very Chanel for those of you who love that vibe. I actually have gotten compliments on this, funnily enough, at the Chanel counter. She was like, what are you wearing? You smell amazing. I'm like, I'm surprised you can't recognize it's the Chanel Paris. Oh, she's like, oh yeah, it smells very sophisticated. Yeah, very sophisticated. Did I even say what's in it? Sorry. This opens with some citruses and pink pepper. There's rose and there's a little bit of patchouli in the base. You guys, patchouli makes this smell, gives it that Chanel almost DNA, actually in this case mixed with the rose. Very, very sophisticated. It doesn't smell like the dirty patchouli, nothing like that. It's very sophisticated earthiness that's in here with that rose. It's absolutely gorgeous. But if you're not a patchouli lover, maybe you won't love that. But I tell you, you guys, get your nose on it because you will smell absolutely sophisticated with that fragrance. And you guys, I have to share with you a rose fragrance that I have been absolutely enjoying this summer. I've been wearing this and loving this for a while now, actually. You don't need much of this. It's kind of actually, you know, surprisingly, even though it's a summer, warm weather, you know, spring, summer fragrance, it's very like actually strong. I'll tell you why it is though. This is Royal Crown Rose Muscat. So I broke the little thing on the top, you guys, my beautiful bottle. I need to glue it back on. I just bumped it on something and it broke off. But anyway, this, you guys, is a very ozonic rose. Ozonic from the melon note in this fragrance. So there's a juicy, fruity melon in the opening with some other fruity notes, and there's a beautiful rose note in here that is absolutely lovely with that melon. It really complements, who knew, right? Like melon and rose. And then you have a tiny tad bit of oud underneath, like underpinning oud, that just gives it strength, but doesn't really smell like oud, right? It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this fragrance. It's so good. I love the juice color. It's like a beautiful blush pink. There's then La Perla Possibilities. This one is got a bit of a kick. This has got beautiful rose notes. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Kilian Love Don't Be Shy, but don't get me wrong, this has no marshmallow. This has no sugar notes. This has none of that, like none of the ones that you find in like that kind of sweet notes, but there's something about it. I think this has orange blossom. That might be what it is. I don't know. There's a little bit of a slight spicy hint almost from that. Actually, the pepper, I think that pepperiness comes from the akigala wood that's in the base, which akigala wood tends to have this sort of pepperiness, and then, you know, it's kind of like, you know, oud, you know, arga wood, which is oud, but not that oud smell, but it's a different kind of wood that's kind of like oud, but has like a little nuances of like slight hint of pepper and a little bit of patchouli, you know. So, but don't get me wrong, this doesn't smell anything like patchouli, but akigala wood has that sort of earthiness and spiciness in a way. So yeah, this has beautiful rose notes, you guys. It's an absolutely pretty fragrance. This is a really beautiful one. It's one of my most favorite rose fragrances in my collection. And of course, I can't forget Attrape Reves by Louis Vuitton. You guys, this one is a fruity rose peony. This has lychee actually in the opening with that fruity juiciness. This has rose and peony together. Very pretty. Has a little bit of cacao powder vibe with slight hint of sweetness, but it's not like chocolatey or anything. Don't get that wrong idea in your head. It's a beautiful one, lasts forever, compliment getter, very sophisticated fragrance from Louis Vuitton. And then we have here Navitus Eidola. This one is a beautiful rose fragrance too. This actually reminds me of a little bit of like the whole Delina kind of vibes, the atomic rose kind of vibes. This has different rose notes in here, some I think peach note in here. It's just it's kind of like a, yeah, it just gives me a little bit of that Delina exclusive kind of vibe, this fragrance. It's a beautiful lasting rose fragrance. I really like this one too. Here's another sophisticated rose fragrance similar to Chanel Paris. Actually, this reminds me a little bit of this, but they're not exactly similar in any kind of like, not that way. This is Gris Dior by Christian Dior. You guys, this one is a very sophisticated rose fragrance that is very kind of cozy. Okay, there's a little bit of, I believe, a little moss in here and a little bit of patchouli, but not too much. But it's like a very rosy, mossy kind of a gray fragrance that, do you know what I mean? It smells like a fuzzy sweater. Like it's just, if you get what I mean, but it smells absolutely sophisticated. Again, great for a formal kind of occasion, like a work function or, you know, something like sophisticated. Okay, that's what this is great for. I love this fragrance as well, Gris Dior. I need to wear it more this coming fall, which is the time I love and enjoy wearing it. I just recently bought it. And actually I have another fragrance from Christian Dior. That's a rose fragrance. This is a very ambery rose. You know what I'm talking about. Ambre Nuit. You guys, this one opens with a tiny bit of citrus, but loads of rose in the middle with pink pepper. And this has ambergris and a lot of amber in the base. So ambergris has a little bit of a slight marine noise, but very woody. And then you have amber, like a load of amber. And you have a little hint of patchouli, very tiny faint hint, and some woodiness in the base. Very kind of beautiful ambery rose for fall and winter. Love it. Again, that's new in my collection, so I'm gonna start wearing that this fall a lot. An oldie but a goodie, and you can't ever forget this one. This is one of the most original rose fragrances when it was first released, and it still kind of is, you know, there have been so many fragrances that are similar to this that was released, but none of it came near this one. This is Maison Kurkdijan Oud Satin Mood. You guys, this is one of my most favorite dark, sultry, batty kind of like rose fragrance. A beautiful, like, evil villain woman would wear this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like from one of the movies, one of those like really like femme fatale kind of women. You know, that there's something really sexy and dark about this fragrance. Of course, it has loads of rose and has violet, which makes it very kind of slightly powdery and sort of gives it a sophisticated touch. It has loads of vanilla, which rose and vanilla are a match made in heaven, okay? And then this has a bit of oud that is absolutely beautiful and sultry. Nothing barnyard about the oud that's in here. It's a classic. It'll always be in my collection. I love it. It's a very much a fall and winter fragrance. You can't talk about rose fragrances without talking about these three. These are the triplets, you know, this is Parfums Delina, the original right here, Delina, the original, which you guys know the story. This has a rhubarb note in the opening with a sour green touch, which contrasts really well with the sweetness in the base from vanilla and stuff. And then, of course, you know, against that beautiful rose note, the Turkish rose note in here. There's lychee in this fragrance as well. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of the most unique rose fragrances released to this date. Yes, there are so many others trying to be Delina now, but there's no other but the original, really. That one is great for springtime, in my opinion. So I wear these three in three different seasons. I'll tell you which one. That I love wearing in the spring. And here's my summer favorite. This is Delina La Rosee. This one is a very aquatic rose. I always think about roses floating in a beautiful stream of water whenever I smell this fragrance. There are watery notes in this fragrance with that beautiful Turkish rose, which is like the signature across all three Delinas. Absolutely beautiful. Actually, even though this is a aquatic rose, it's actually quite strong. I mean, it stays on for a long time. Good like staying power and projection for a fresh rose for warm weather. And this one right here, the Delina Exclusif, is my favorite for fall and winter, for cold weather, especially winter. This is a little bit more powdery in my opinion. This also has, actually Delina, the original, has a little bit of incense as well. So does this, but for some reason I smell the incense in here a little bit stronger. It's a little bit more, like slightly more smoky, a little bit more of a smoky rose, if you will. You get what I mean? Oh, this is beautiful. It is probably my favorite out of the three Delinas. Last a long time. Beautiful, beautiful, super feminine fragrance. Again, has Turkish rose, I believe, lychee as well in this, and you know, like I said, a little bit of incense and many other notes, but absolutely gorgeous. I forgot, there are loads of vanilla in the original Delina, and this one, vanilla is there in all of them. And another one that's kind of similar to Delina is this one that I have in my hand, but this one's more like Delina on steroids, and a little bit more strong in other ways as well. This is Initio Atomic Rose. This one is a super strong. Ooh, none of these fragrances I have to spray, you guys. They're super strong. Yeah, this one is a very strong, atomic rose. It is, okay? It's super powerful. Smells similar to Delina, but only like a lot more strong and a little bit different. This has like pink pepper, Kurkdijan. It has that beautiful rose. It has Bulgarian rose and I believe Turkish rose as well. Some jasmine, loads of vanilla, loads of amber. Absolutely beautiful, you guys. I love it. Again, that's another one I like to wear in the colder weather because it's super strong. Speaking of fragrances that smell a little bit like Delina, little resemblance, not exactly like. There's one right here, Carolina Herrera's Very Good Girl, you guys. This one I might have to spray because the atomizer is a little weird. Oh yeah, this one, it's not, okay, so people compare this to Delina, but really not the same at all. But there's a little resemblance because it's also kind of a sour rose, like a, you know how Delina has rhubarb and rose mixed, that gives that very unique touch and some fruitiness. This is the same type of fragrance. You guys, this smells a little bit like Delina, resembles it a little bit, but they're not the same at all. This does have lychee, that fruitiness from the lychee, and this does have also rose, which both of you, those notes you can find in Delina, but the slight sourness in this fragrance come from somewhere else, not from rhubarb, I don't think. This has a little greenish kind of like sour note in here. And also I have to point out there are some other fruity notes in here that is not letting the lychee stand out like it is in the Delinas. In Delina, you can smell the lychee very distinctly, whereas this one has lychee but mixed with some other fruity notes, okay? Some pink pepper, there's loads of rose, vanilla, bucket of vanilla, obviously, some woody notes. Yeah, they're not similar, but it's another fruity rose. And now this one is not for cold weather. This is a very fun kind of juicy, fruity rose, and very kind of sophisticated smelling in a way. This is Christian Louboutin Le Louvidou, you guys. This one, I love it. This has a beautiful, juicy strawberry note right in the opening and loads of rose and some vanilla. There's something with that berries, you know, the berries and the rose mixed. There are lots of other notes in here that have not been revealed. It's a very kind of fruity, berry fruity rose that's super fun for spring and summer. Very beautiful, another compliment getter. One of my recent favorites is this one right here. This is a cherry rose. This one is La Nuit Tresor from the Lancome La Nuit Tresor Tons, you guys. This one I am not smelling, so I'm gonna spray it. Oh, this is beautiful. This has got loads of rose and some cherry, okay? But to me, you guys, yes, there's cherry. It's sweet cherry, a dark black cherry, but I smell that, but I smell the rose more. This, as the star of this fragrance really is the rose note. Not to mention the big dose of almond. You get that almond mixed with the rose, mixed with that cherry. It's beautiful. Loads of vanilla, obviously. There's always vanilla in this kind of beautiful fragrances. I love this nighttime wear, cold weather in my opinion. Oh, here is another one that resembles kind of like Delina-ish. It's another fruity rose, kind of sour, kind of like the Very Good Girl. This is Angel Noah by Mugler. This is another one I'm gonna have to spray. I'm gonna spray it here because it's a weird atomizer, you know. Oh yeah, this one kind of again resembles those kind of like Very Good Girl and like Delina-ish, but this is different. This is different because first of all, this has a little bit of oud, so it's kind of strong. This fragrance is pretty strong. That lychee, just like the other two, and rose, which is where the resemblance comes from, like the Delina and Very Good Girl also both have lychee and rose. This one has actually a raspberry note that takes it a little bit away from the lychee note. Again, it smells to me more raspberry. Loads of rose, loads of vanilla in this fragrance. Yeah, it has a little bit of oud in the base that gives it teeth, which makes it very different from those other two. Then you guys, I almost forgotten about this. I bought this and I didn't really wear it very much, and I recently discovered it, rediscovered it again. This is beautiful. This is Lancome Midnight Rose. I'm going to spray, actually smell it, but I'm going to spray it still. This is another beautiful, very kind of juicy, kind of fruity rose. This has raspberry in here, loads of rose in the opening and in the middle, I think. Some peony too. This is a very much of a beautiful peony rose combination, so it's actually really, really pretty. Peony and rose together, very, very lovely. Kind of like almost got kind of like pretty, you know, because peony makes things pretty. This has what do you call pink pepper, because it's a very happy kind of bright bubbly note. A little greenness from cassis, which is the leaf of the black currant, and there's loads of vanilla, loads of musk. It's a really lovely, feminine, juicy, fruity rose. Then I have this pretty fragrance. This is Miss Dior Eau de Parfum. You guys, this is a beautiful, pretty, girly rose fragrance. Loads of musk. It's a kind of a sophisticated rose, actually. Kind of like the other sophisticated rose ones I talked about from Dior and from Chanel. but there's a prettiness to this fragrance, something a little juicy about this. I believe there might be like some raspberry in here, but it's very faint. It smells very pretty, but sophisticated pretty, if you get what I mean. Beautiful fragrance. Then we have this beautiful berry rose right here. This is also, okay, you can't smell this one. You have to spray it. I haven't sprayed this wrist yet. This is got a beautiful berry opening, strawberry and blackberry, I think. Yeah, this has loads of rose, a lot of like rose notes in here and peony together, so it's very pretty. Some praline in the base, so it's really sweet in the base. Some amber, absolutely beautiful. It's a very berry rose, like it's got juicy berryness with rose mixed together. Then we have this Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. You guys, this one, it's a very musky rose. It's right in the name, right? Musk Noir Rose. It's plummy. It's got pink pepper. It's got loads of musk with that rose. Some tuberose too, I believe, with the rose. So there's a kind of a balance between rose and tuberose, but the rose note is more dominant. And some vanilla. It's a really pretty spring kind of fragrance that I think it's really pretty. Here's another one from Narciso Rodriguez. This is a Fleur Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. This one is a little bit more strong, a little bit more musky. It's a little bit thicker, if that makes any sense, compared to that. That one is lighter. This has got loads of rose and peony. Again, very pretty. It's a rose peony musky fragrance. There's a little bit of powderiness in here with, I think, violet or something. Pink pepper, loads of pink pepper in the opening, which is a bright, happy note, you know. And a little patchouli, but you can't, almost like can't even smell it. And then I have this very gourmand, very delicious rose here. Very sweet, almost like delicious rose. This is Lancome Idole Nectar. This has got loads of rose in the opening, like Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, and other rose notes. But this also has caramel a little bit and a popcorn note, which makes it kind of interesting. It gives it a little bit of almost like a salty, buttery kind of feeling, and has loads of vanilla in the base. It's a very delicious gourmand rose fragrance. Speaking of which, we cannot forget Lancome Oud Bouquet. This is like my second bottle. I also actually have the original bottle, the original version of Lancome Oud Bouquet. It's upstairs. But you guys, this is that jammy rose. We all know what this smells like. Very jammy. This has got praline, I believe, in the base. Loads of vanilla, very strong rose note in here. Very syrupy, very jammy. Actually, more than syrupy, it's very jammy. It smells like rose jam almost. Yeah, classic. Okay, winter, you can't have a winter without that fragrance, or fall without that, I mean. Here's another gorgeous, beautiful, sweet, delicious vanilla fragrance. It's a very gourmand vanilla. This is Parfum Cristal by Mugler. You guys, oh, this was one of my original loves. Do you see how much I've used this? This is my second bottle, and I have 3 backups for this. You got it? 3 backups for this fragrance, so I don't need to say anymore. This has been discontinued. This is being discontinued. Last time I checked, they still had some on the Mugler website. I'll link it all down in the description box. I also do have a discount code for Mugler. If you want to use that, you get a nice discount. And every time you buy something from Mugler, you guys, they give you loads of free goodies, like really good deluxe size perfumes and stuff. Anyway, this is the most beautifully delicious rose vanilla, like a vanilla rose. Okay, it's so beautiful. This has a beautiful toffee note, you guys, in here. Oh, smells like almost like caramel toffee, and that beautiful heavy dose of vanilla with the rose. Oh, so good. Oh, this is so beautiful. This projects like crazy, okay, and huge compliment getter. And every time I walk past people, they can smell me. Like one time I was wearing this and I was walking down the hallway and people in rooms could smell me, okay? That's how strongly beautifully project, not at all offensive though. Very beautiful fragrance, very feminine. I hate the packaging of Montal perfumes for this reason. I just had the top and the thing and it fell on the floor somewhere. I can't find it, but gosh, it sucks. Like the thing with the pin, does anybody else hate Montal pin with the, oh, it just keeps falling off. But anyway, I can't even smell it without that. God, it just, I don't want to get up and look for it right now. But anyway, this is Montal Roses Musk. This is a very musky rose. It smells a little synthetic. It actually smells like, there's no better way to put it, like an Arabian princess. It's actually very beautiful. It's got a little bit of like the Middle Eastern kind of flair to it, so it's really pretty. I really like this fragrance still. It's a pretty fragrance. I like to wear it in either winter or spring for some reason. I don't know why, but that's when it works the best. Then I have Penhaligon's Elizabethan rose. It has the Tudor rose here and everything, which I think is really cute. This one, you guys, is a very interesting one. It's almost aquatic feeling, feels light and kind of aquatic almost, but it's more than that. There's a hazelnut note in here, so it's a little nutty. It's got the beautiful rose. It's really, really pretty, you guys. I mean, I don't know how to put this. Is a very, again, a classy, sophisticated fragrance that you want to wear to like to go have afternoon tea or something, you know. This has loads of like mandarin orange type notes. That's kind of like citrus. Even the citrus is kind of syrupy, but again, this is a light fragrance. It's not fragrance itself isn't syrupy. This has like that blackcurrant plum type of juicy fruity notes. Loads of different rose notes in here. This also has a little bit of violet, I think, giving it a little bit of that powdery sophistication. So it's a kind of a slightly nutty, almost aquatic, comes from the juicy fruity notes like blackcurrant, the aquatic feel. And it's a little bit nutty from the hazelnut. I think there's also almond in here. Yeah, it's a very interesting fragrance. Then I have Roses Greedy by Mancera. You guys, this one, I gotta tell you, it comes with a warning because it's very strong. If you get like headaches from perfumes, this, you might want to be careful with this one. Do not ever overspray this. This is a crazy fragrance. This is a very strong rose note, very strong vanilla. It's called Roses Greedy by Mancera. This has lots of like fruity notes like peach, you know, blackcurrant even, but it's very strong. Mandarin orange, even coconut in here. But loads of rose, loads of other floral notes, some jasmine, a lot of vanilla and amber in the base, some even benzoin, some musk. But the thing about this is, you guys, this is a very strong rose fragrance. It smells strongly of rose, and I smell the vanilla, and I smell those other fruity notes. It smells really good, but it can be a little bit strong. You know how Mancera has that sort of synthetic DNA, just like Montal. Montal is the sister house of Mancera. So yeah, it's beautiful, but wear with caution, only in cold weather. And here's a new one that I added to my collection, you guys. This is Rosewood by Arabian Oud. It's Rosewood, not Rose Oud. This actually smells very like Middle Eastern, but like very kind of exotic, kind of almost delicious rose, but it has like a very much like a rose water kind of feel to it. I don't need to smell it or spray it. I can actually smell it really well. It smells like rose water, like a beautiful, delicious Middle Eastern rose dessert with rose water, only it's like sexy and sweet at the same time. There's oud in here definitely, but loads of vanilla and some other like notes that in here. I can't quite put my finger on it. Absolutely beautiful. If you like that sort of Middle Eastern sweet rose oud that smells like rose water, but only like really almost like a princess, like smells feminine, that's the one for you. Speaking of Middle Eastern Oriental rose fragrances, this is the queen of it. This is one number 9, Dubai Ruby. Okay, so this one is a very sophisticated Middle Eastern smelling but modern style fragrance. This has rose and oud. Obviously it's a rose oud fragrance, But you guys, it's very special. It's very sophisticated, the oud that's in here. It has a little bit of geranium with the rose there. They make a good pair. There are some like nargamota, something herbally, like sexy herbal note in here that's really nice. Slight bit of animalic vibe. Loads of amber. There's like other beautiful florals like magnolia, you know, in here. There's a little bit of almost a smoky balsamic hint from the myrrh, kind of in slight incensey vibe in a way, sensual sandalwood. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Here's a very kind of herbally sexy rose right here. This is Tom Ford Rose Prick. This one, you guys, has something very sultry. It has a little bit of a kick from the Sichuan pepper in here with that little bit of turmeric. So it got a little bit of herbally spiciness going on in the opening. There are rose notes in here, several rose notes, some patchouli, and something very kind of herbally. I want to say that this almost has some kind of, you know, cypriol oil or davana type thing. Maybe not, but it has that sultriness. And it has tonka bean, loads of tonka bean. Tonka bean is like a deeper version of vanilla. So here's a rose fragrance that's new in my collection that I have been absolutely loving. This is Harrods Rose. This actually resembles Rose Monda by Joyo Unique Sensorial Fragrances, but this one is a lot more unique, I should say, the Rose Monda. But this one is also really beautiful. This one actually, oh, you guys, this one smells weird. It's just like, at first when you smell it, it smells like almost like yellow white floral fragrance. You know, I almost feel like I smell ylang ylang in it, but it's not. It has, you know, and ylang ylang and tuberose. Yes, there's tuberose, but there's no ylang ylang. So in the opening, you think almost like it's a white floral fragrance, but then you smell that beautiful rose, big dose of rose, okay? And then you get a little bit of like some kind of green hint in the similar kind of way that Rosamonda has, like a very unique green note in here. It's absolutely beautiful. I think this has tuberose and then of course rose, narcissus, maybe narcissus, I don't know. And it has amberette, you guys. It's just a beautiful fragrance. It makes me feel like I'm in this flower field, you know, pretty girl. It's a pretty girl fragrance wearing a flower crown. I almost forgot this. I cannot believe it was hiding in between all of my Kilian fragrances. This is A Kiss from a Rose. This is a beautiful green rose fragrance with a bit of sexy sultry herbal underpinning, some beautiful green note it opens with, and beautiful rose. There's a sultry herbally note, cypriol oil in the base. It's really pretty. I love to wear this in the springtime, you guys. One of my favorite top rose fragrances. So guys, that's it. Those are the most prominent rose fragrances in my collection right now. I've added so many new ones, but I'm loving all my older ones too. I have even more rose fragrances in my collection. I'm sure some I forgot, but you know, these are ones that I always reach for and love. Beautiful rose fragrances. Like I said, there is nothing better than a rose fragrance, nothing more romantic, nothing more pretty, nothing more feminine, okay? So let me know down in the comment section what kind of rose fragrances that you guys love. What do you think about mine? Let me know, chime down in the comment section. All right, now is the time to announce the winner of the giveaway. The winner of the giveaway is, drumroll please, Patty. Congratulations, my darling. You have been a supporter from the beginning. You have always been watching my channel and commenting. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the subscribers who actually comment on all my videos, as many as you watch. That it really helps my channel grow. It helps my channel engagement, and Patty is one of those people who always comment, and I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you, Patty, so much for being a wonderful supporter always of my channel. Congratulations, and let me know your shipping address. You can email me or you can DM me on Instagram. Okay, you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. That subscribe button down there And don't forget to comment, really helps me out, and like this video, and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I will see you guys in my next video.